Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rare, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tafua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Agnesi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Bula, my name is Tisa. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, Fiji Electricity Authority sale almost complete. More than 200 squatters given homes. And heavy rain unlikely to let up anytime soon.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
The sale of Fiji Electricity Authority shares is likely to be finalised in a few months. Public Enterprise Minister Ayaz Sayed Qayyum has told Parliament discussions are underway with local and international companies. 49% of FEA will be sold to a private company, with the government keeping majority ownership.
There is a bill that we intend to present to Parliament in respect of the separation of some of the regulatory aspects of FEA to be given to other entities, to have FEA focus on the key function of generation, transmission and retailing of electricity.
More families will be getting their land lease approval notices in the coming months. Minister for Lands Fayaz Koya confirms they will continue to regularise informal settlement around the country. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Lands Minister says the regularization of the informal settlement provides security and enables Fijian to access essential services.
The Ministry has issued a total of 217 approval notices, 72 for the Western Division, 77 for the Northern Division, and 68 for the Central Division. And the regularization of these informal settlements strengthens the government's commitment to the Fijian people, Madam Speaker, to have access to land, essential services and infrastructure.
More areas have been identified where similar approval notices will be given in the coming days.
Granting of security of tenure will continue, and it will continue in the following areas. In the Central Eastern Division, it's Velau Drive, Kinoya, Naulu, Nakasi, Wainandoi, Navua. In the Western Division, looking at Field 40, Phase 2, is the Natoka and Natambua Tramline, Natoka and Tavola Street in Ba. In the Northern Division, Bodha 1 and 2, and Balimosanga, and Vitandra and Navaria and Sabsabu.
The Lands Ministry has also advised squatters on private land to seek help from the government. Koya says his team will try to assist anyone who walks through their doors in need of housing. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A Sunbeam bus travelling to Suva was stoned near Pacific Harbour in Deumba last night. The incident occurred at around 8:30 p.m. as the coach was returning from Lautoka carrying 40 passengers. Company executives say they have no idea why the attack happened, and a report has been filed with police. However, no arrests have been made.
When the bus reached Nanukunia Lepanoni village, the bus was towed by some unknown people. As per the driver and the checker, only one passenger was hurt with minor injuries.
A raid conducted by officers from the Raki police station in Sawanivo seized green plants and dried leaves believed to be marijuana. Police searched the home of a 25-year-old suspect, who then led them to his farm, where more than 20 plants were found and uprooted. He remains in custody as investigations continue. Members of the community supplied police with information, resulting in the successful raid and arrest. A shortage of labour is one of the main issues faced by the rice farming industry in Fiji. This was revealed in Parliament by Minister for Agriculture Inia Seriratu, who says they have initiatives in place to sort this issue out. Anna Ravulo has more.
While Fiji is importing less rice from overseas since 2013, the local industry faces many issues, one being a lack of manpower.
Labour shortage is one of the critical issues that we face in Fiji now, not only in rice but in sugar as well. Children are getting educated, they are leaving the rice, the farms. So we need to get in machinery, and we have distributed machinery all over the rice growing regions.
Fiji imported $30 million worth of rice in 2014, but this dropped to $27 million in 2015. Opposition MP Mikaeli Leowere proposes an alternative to help with labour shortages.
The question is, why not use the seasonal workers who will be sent overseas to come and work in the rice farm? Because at the end of the day, it's value added. They will learn something and go back to their own respective villages and start the rice planting as well. Thank you. When they go abroad, they are paid about $20 to $30 an hour. Therefore, farmers cannot afford, and even for government to subsidize, it's beyond us.
Seriratu says they are working with Grace Road in Navua to set up farmer schools and will be putting up structures very soon. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The Nandi Weather Office has maintained the flood warning in light of the current weather situation around Fiji. A flood warning remains in force for low-lying areas in Raki and for areas adjacent to Raki town as well as downstream of Raki station. A flood alert remains in force for low-lying areas and small streams adjacent to major rivers around the Fiji group. An active trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain affects the group. While still ahead, disability is no barrier to leadership. And cocoa industry gets a boost.
मेरा नाम कमल रोशनी है। हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we Bagels. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तवरा में रहता हूँ, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Close to 200,000 traffic infringement notices have been issued since the installments of speed cameras in 2013. Minister for Transport Praveen Bala highlighted in Parliament that the expansion of speed cameras in the country have reduced the number of accidents.
From 1st January 2017 to now, a total of 11,703 tins were issued, of which 1,057 for red light and 10,646 for speeding. There are currently 25 fixed poles on which 10 cameras are operated on a rotational basis.
Disabilities are not a barrier to leadership. Australian High Commissioner to Fiji, Margaret Toomey, says leadership roles help build confidence and fight the stigma against people with intellectual disabilities. Kelly Vadala reports.
More than 20 students were inducted prefects and class captains at the Suva Special School, proving they can become responsible citizens.
With your success and hard work, you are not only an example to your fellow students at Suva Special School, but to the rest of Fiji.
Viola Mbale the cow is the new head girl and says she wants to improve her leadership skills.
Keep more showing my duty and my position to lead the children of Super Special.
Even though our lifestyles are different and sometimes society don't accept them, but I'm proud of my girl. She has proved herself today and is an example to her colleagues that they can lead Fiji too.
Suva Special School President Veronica Tom says the elected leaders have something to prove to society.
We think of people as disabled, intellectually disabled, however society likes to say it these days, special needs. But these students are able and quite competent and do understand their roles.
Today, the Australian High Commission also donated office equipments and kitchen appliances worth more than $14,000 to the school, which will help the students in their practical learning and success. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Fiji's first community-managed cocoa processing unit has been launched in Lutu village in Neita, Siri. The processing unit will be managed by the Wainaka Cocoa Growers Association, which represents cocoa farmers from Lutu and the surrounding area. Pranita Prakash reports.
The processing unit, consisting of a fermenter and a cocoa dryer, has been provided by European Union under its Increasing Agricultural Commodities Trade Project. EU Ambassador to Fiji and the Pacific, Andrew Jacob, says there is a huge export potential for Fiji's cocoa.
Fiji is clearly, an economic hub
of the Pacific region. I think you have the capacity to drive forward economic development throughout the Pacific, and cocoa, I think, is one of the products that really is leading the way. I think you're in a very good business, cocoa. The world is looking for chocolate, and the world is looking for exotic chocolate, and where better to make exotic chocolate than Fiji.
Deputy Secretary for Agriculture Development Raya Wembuta says the ministry will continue to focus on production in order to revitalize the cocoa industry in Fiji.
The future for cocoa in Fiji is bright. We are so thankful that cocoa is coming back. We know this by the price that exists within the farm gate and within the farmers, of what the farmers are receiving at this point in time. $5 already, and even if it goes down to about $1 a kilo, still the farmers are making money.
100 farmers were assisted under the Increasing Agricultural Commodities Trade Project after Tropical Cyclone Winston last year. There are also plans to construct a cocoa nursery housing 50,000 plants. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Members of all churches in Fiji now have a chance to learn their different hymns in Hindi. The Indian High Commission has introduced the Indian Carnatic classical vocal music for the major church denominations. The conductor of the Indian Carnatic classical vocal music, Angelina Christie, says they will begin classes from next week for anyone interested.
This is the way which is my little bit, you can say, dream, that I want to learn our Indian Christian people in church in a classical traditional way. So it makes little bit difference, and it will be good for the new generation to keep our culture and our tradition.
64 Sports Awards nominees recognized. And Fiji Sevens addresses weaknesses ahead of Las Vegas tournament.
That I said before.
All nominees for the 2016 Fiji Sports Awards have been recognized even before winners have been announced. The Fiji Sports Council held an event last night to recognize athletes shortlisted for awards. Melita Vanga reports.
Paralympic table tennis rep Mary Rodden is lost for words on a nomination for the Best Sportswoman of the Year.
This is, it means a lot. It means a lot to be part of, to be a nominee for the awards.
49-year-old Pacific Games gold medalist says being confined to a wheelchair has never been an excuse to not embrace her dreams.
Specifically for persons with disabilities or young women with disabilities, I would like them not to look at their disability, but look at their special abilities and to go forward for whatever they're passionate about, be it in sports or whatever. Never to look down on themselves just because of their impairment or the device that they may be using, maybe a walking aid or a wheelchair as someone like me. I think that they should just come forward and be part of what's happening out there, to be included into the society.
All 64 nominees have received a plaque, and the Fiji Sports Council says aspiring sports personalities need to be encouraged.
I look forward to a wonderful night, and I look forward to seeing you all next Friday at the Sports Awards dinner at the Vodafone Arena.
The main awards night is on Friday with 11 different awards to be handed out. Melita Vanga, FBC Sports.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team is taking an in-depth look at how players can improve. Acting coach Nathaniel Idawanimbuka says they will have to relook at their defense principles and implement practice plans and activities that respond to these problems. Idawanimbuka adds he has spoken to the players about ensuring that they are carrying out their responsibilities on the field. The team will march into camp on Monday to begin preparations for the Las Vegas and Vancouver Sevens.
There are improvements that we'll need to make in terms of fitness, in terms of execution. We need to be accurate in areas of our game, in attack, and also, accuracy in defense and how we communicate and just handling the pressure.
Queen Victoria School is making a comeback in this year's Fiji Secondary School Rugby League competition, which kicked off today. The Talevu school did not compete last year because of the devastation caused by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
The Queen Victoria School isn't coming in to make the numbers at this year's Vodafone Trophy competition.
Try to qualify for the quarterfinals from 6 weeks now. So I promise that my team will go back to school and train to that level, and also we will come back on last for next week, Friday or maybe Saturday, and we'll try to compete to the utmost level of our ability.
Under 17 coach Joeli Rokombani says even though they did not have enough time to train, the boys managed to perform at their best today.
We're able to cope with the school program, and also we try to train to that level in order for us to be present here today to compete with other teams.
Fiji Secondary School Rugby League officials are overwhelmed by the level of competition.
I think the teams are gearing up pretty well, and we are looking forward to see some very skillful players and very knowledgeable in the game. And we're also hoping that we will see some talents too from the coaches of different schools.
Organizers say this year's competition, which runs every weekend, will be bigger and better. The Vodafone Trophy ends in April with winners in the under 15, under 17 and under 19 grades. Melitabanga, FBC Sports.
And looking at the match results today, in the under 15 grade, Nasinu Secondary School beat Suva Grammar 18-8, while QVS thrashed AOG 28-0. Now in the under 17 grade, AOG hammered Nambua Secondary 30-0, while Nasinu Secondary thumped QVS 17-14. In the under 19 grade, QVS beat Marist 30-22. The Fiji Netball Association has bigger plans for the national under-21 side, preparing for the Netball World Youth Championship in Botswana. President Waniki Timbongindrao says the youngsters have realized how hard they have to work to be able to make the Botswana trip in July. Bongindrao says that most of the players are feeling uncomfortable at the moment because there are so many spots up for grabs.
Into court work and game strategy next week. They have different phases of training, and all of them are fully engaged in that. We've had teams, our players from the West, relocate to Suva to be part of this daily training schedules.
Well, it was a rough night for Adelaide United fans at Coopers Stadium in the Australian A-League. The match was delayed for an hour due to the heat before Perth Glory hammered the Reds 5-0. Here are the goals. Rain and thunderstorms experienced over the country today. An active trough of low pressure with associated cloud and rain lies slow moving over Fiji. It is expected to affect the country until later tomorrow. Now, in the Western Division, temperatures hovered in the mid-30s with rain and strong winds being experienced throughout the day. A flash flood warning is in place for Raki. Well, it was more of the same in the east, rain all around and temperatures in the high 20s. Taking a look up north, and no let-up in the wet conditions experienced over the last few days. Savu peaked at 30 degrees this afternoon. Now for tomorrow, rain and strong winds will persist over the group, while warm temperatures are forecast for all major centres. Looking ahead to Monday, showers over most places. Strong northwest winds with speeds at 45 km per hour to 60 km per hour, with gusts of up to 70 km per hour easing later in the day. For mariners, a strong wind warning remains in force for all Fiji waters. West to northwest winds 25 to 30 knots, gusting to 40 knots, rough to very rough seas. Moderate northerly swells are expected as well. Poor visibility in areas of heavy rain and thunderstorms. The next low tide is at 1:17 a.m. Tomorrow, high tide is at 7:31 a.m. Recapping the main stories, Fiji Electricity Authority share sale almost complete. More than 200 housing leases issued to families in informal settlements. And drug raid in Raki unearths 20 marijuana plants. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To the poll question. This week, with 19 fires so far this year, we are asking, are Fijians taking fire safety seriously? Visit our FBC website to answer. Well, you can also send us newsworthy pictures and videos if you like on email citizens@fpc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page FPC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FPC News or simply #FPC News. Until next time, good night.
I'm another of Nayabu Whenever I want to tune in to listen to great music, I always tune in to my favorite radio station, Gold FM, only the classic.
My name is Lita. We love listening to Gold FM here at the Fiji Hideaway Resort and Spa. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
We here at Tano Waterfront Lautoka love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.